loading or carrying passenger at that hypogbon end. So he is right for what he said, because that's my daily route since they closed the bridge. At least I take that route twice a day, coming in to the mainland and going back to the island.
All right, his point is noted. So CMS wants a promo. Yes, sir. I believe that should be as a result of high influx. A lot of people don't want to fly third mainland anymore. They don't just want to get stuck, because these days you notice that even the third mainland bridges are always busy now, because everybody wants to move in at the same time. So, well, just to confirm from our traffic managers to know if there is any impediment there, that's at CMS Musa Pogba, and it says the backlog is CMS. So we'll find out what's wrong. We'll find out if it's just high influx or if there's any impediment. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Chus.
All right.
Okay. I greet Mr. Kunle. That should be Mr. Engineer Kunle, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chooks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I drive Toyota Corolla 03. So I traveled over during the Christmas time, and I came back. So on Sunday, when I wanted to go to Georgia, I noticed that the car, in order to enter, it wasn't selecting. It was just making noise. So then I have to call my mechanic to check it. He said there's no single gear engine on the car. And I was surprised. This is a car I brought all the way from the east down to the Lagos. So when they checked, they said there's no single gear engine. They have to, the gear seal is leaking. So they have to change it. Then they poured another one. But after then, so what I keep noticing is whenever it's moving, it's like it's using force to enter the gear. It's like when you want to enter, using force. At times when you're on emotion, you want to slow down.
Okay.
He doesn't want to pick.
Okay, listen.
Then I took it back to him again.
Yes.
He said, hello?
Chooks, I think your point.
I continue.
Your point is staying.
Your point, yes.
I've gotten your
Okay,
point.
okay. So
listen.
do I listen from the radio? Or you
Yes, listen from the radio.
Okay,
Right.
thank you, sir. Okay.
You see, Chooks took the vehicle to the east, drove it, no problem, coming back. Going traveling around Nigeria, most especially when you get to where the roads are bad, you go through some of these mud, water in some of these bad roads. Now, you're going to get things get caught. Things are going to get caught up on under the vehicle, like a road, debris, dirt, stuff like that. Now, one of those things will damage the seal that goes into the transfer case, because on your transmission you have transfer case, most especially front wheel drive. When that seal gets damaged, oil will be seeping out slowly. He drove the vehicle. He's even lucky. He drove the vehicle all the way from the east back to Lagos. Now, on getting to Lagos, he discovered that he's experiencing some drivability error. Why I said he's lucky is he could have ruined that transmission completely because there was no oil in it. And oil is what you need to lubricate some of the parts. Two things will be happening. You're going to have high friction, which will damage some of the clutches, which they call fiber. The local name is fiber, but they're wet clutches. You're going to overheat the transmission. When you overheat the transmission, some of the steel plates are going to get burnt. When this happens, you're going to have the different things happening in the transmission, and that's one of the things he's experiencing now. I think he has damaged one of the, or more of the clutches are damaged.
Wow.
So there are debts inside the valve body now because the clutches are burnt out.
Okay.
Some of the clutches are burnt out. The only thing he can do right now is either he drives it like that for some time until it goes out completely, or he look for somebody that can get the kit for him, let them rebuild the transmission or get a complete transmission outright. But that transmission is going to exhibit some problems with the way he said it, that the mechanic told him there was no drop of fluid in it.
That's serious.
That means you've overheated. Yeah, it's completely dry. It has overheated the transmission internally, and you have some steel plates that it's this fluid that cools them. Some of them will have get warped. The seals will have get dried and brittle. The clutches will have worn out. So the fact that the car is still moving is even lucky. So that's just it for him.
All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
And it's not his mechanic's fault.
It's not his
It's not his mechanic's fault. The leakage caused the problem, but he did, because before he got to Lagos, the transmission will have been showing some signs with the way the car changes gear, but he didn't notice.
Okay. All right, let's get to some traffic reports. Yes, I've got this from Igondo Axis, and it says traffic is still appreciable within that corridor. And there was also an earlier reported falling leaded truck. Yes, it fell on the side at as a widow in was of Adore. So offloading is in progress right now, and we have men well positioned monitoring the traffic there. So please just be aware of this as you drive, okay? And from our live feed here, okay, from Ikeja underneath the bridge inwards Alausa, that's inwards Ikeja along and Alausa, inwards Allen Junction and Alausa, we have it good. Precisely as Mobile, we also have it good there. Yes, and also on the return lane, traffic is a breeze on that stretch, so please just keep it within speed limits, no cause for worries, no impediment. And on Kujas Abiola, we also have it good, yeah, connecting Clay and also Oregon is good. That's for those who are trying to connect from Ikeja. You have it good, and also on the return journey, if you're trying to connect from Ojo inwards Kujas Abiola way, we have it good as well. So impediment is also negative there. Okay, well, we have it good also. Yes, on Obafinawola way connecting Coca-Cola, we have it good. Okay, and also on the return journey, the photos connecting radio and moving inwards Allen intersection, we also have it good. So just ensure you cooperate with our traffic managers to keep it within speed limit. Our traffic managers, yes, we also want to know, do we have high influx on CMS in Wasapomo? It's just, do we have any impediment there? It's just high influx. Yes, one says it's getting busy on that stretch. Please kindly update me now. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes,
good morning. Is it traffic radio, right?
Yes, please. This is AUTOMEDICS traffic radio.
Okay. This is Omar from Ikorodu. Yeah, right. I have two problems with my Lexus RS 207 model, 350 207. One, if the AC is on, I've been enjoying it. Before you know it, the heat will start coming up. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
We can.
Yes, that's number one. Then number two, also with the fan. Small time, the fan with the temperature will rise, mostly if I on the AC. Then after some time, it will stabilize. So I be doing like off and on. If I see that the temperature have arrived of the AC, sometimes it will not disturb, maybe over 2 hours or 3 hours. So it just fluctuates. I don't know what is actually the problem. That's two complaints.
Okay, well, the two complaints is still the same.
Can I listen on the radio? Or is that good?
Yeah, you said you can go ahead and listen on the radio.
Okay.
All right. Well, he complained about temperature rising.
Okay.
When he said he doesn't enjoy the AC when he turns it on. But sometimes when he turns the AC on, the other thing that happens is the temperature will rise. And every time he says the first thing was when he turns the AC on, he will enjoy it for some time. Then he start noticing that they start getting hot. Now, what I want him to observe is when the temperature starts rising in the engine, he will notice that the temperature gauge will be going up also. Is it when it's in traffic that you notice that? Once you notice that in traffic, that's an indication. There's no problem with the AC. As far as I'm concerned, there's no problem with the AC.
Okay.
But there's problem with the cooling system. What I mean by the cooling system is the radiator fan. Is driving an RX 350. I can't remember, I don't know if that particular vehicle uses 2 fans or 1 fan. But I'll find out. If it uses 2 fans, that means one of the fan is not working optimally. And the one that's not working optimally is the condenser fan.
Okay.
Anytime you have 2 fans on your radiator, one cools the condenser while the other one cools the radiator. But the 2 fans will only come on when you turn the AC on. When you don't have the AC, only one is working. Though most people, somebody will have directed the 2 fans. That immediately you start the engine, the 2 fan comes on. Here is the problem. Once you direct your fan, when you turn the key on, the 2 fan comes on. The problem is the fan will not last long because the fan is constantly working when it's not supposed to. The way the fan is designed, if you're not using the AC, the fan will only come on and off when you're not using the AC. But when you are using the AC, when you turn the AC on, the 2 fan will come on if you're using 2 fans. But if you're using 1, the speed of that one will increase. The problem is once you direct the fan, the 2 fan will come on, or 1, the speed will increase. But what happens is the lifespan of the fan will be reduced because, mind you, most of these fans carries a device in it called brush. This brush, as the brush is wearing out, the performance of the fan will reduce. And once the performance of the fan start reducing, when you turn the AC on, when you're in traffic, the speed of the fan is not enough to cool the condenser and the radiator. And the condenser sits in front of the radiator. So the heat from the condenser is transferred to the radiator, which will spike up the temperature of the engine. And that's when you notice the temperature of your engine. And at that point, if nobody has tampered with your AC system, at that point, once the temperature of the condenser increases, the AC cuts off. To you, you think you have the AC on, but the compressor has cut off. Because once the pressure builds up inside the condenser, there's a pressure sensor on that line that monitors the pressure on the high side, which is on the condenser. Once the sensor notices that the pressure is too much, it cuts power off to the compressor. So the compressor does not run. At that point, all you get inside the car is just the fan blowing, but no cool here. That's because the fan is not working optimally. The only time you will enjoy the AC is when you're on a free road. So, and the reason is because you have ram here from outside, hitting the condenser and the radiator at high speed. So it's cooling and pulling the heat out of both the condenser and the fan. So what I would tell the gentleman is, the first thing you want to do is if you know a good rewire, let them find out the condition of your radiator fan. If you use 1, if you use 2, one of them is not working optimally, or both of them is not working optimally.
All right, thank you so much. Because Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, yes, in and out of the Ridge, yes, I understand that it's getting busy. Yes, this is just because it's the only alternative, or one of the alternatives, for those of you who want to connect the island. So people don't want to get stuck on the Third Mainland Bridge, so that's why they're trying to apply a cooperation. So we just encourage you to be patient. Yes, if you are there, Yes, just be patient. This was our influx. Yes, I'm not getting any reports of any impediments whatsoever. So please just be patient. And for those who are also trying to connect Third Mainland Bridge, yes, it's gradually building up there. If you're not there yet, if you're not on Third Mainland Bridge right now, and you want to make it through to the island, please, I believe you just have to make use of alternative. You can go through Carter Bridge. Yes, since Eco Bridge is getting busy as well, you can go through Carter Bridge. That's connect from Ido and Irewole Carter Bridge and continue your journey from there. Hello, good morning.
Hello. I know when I called about the farm and yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, yes. The type of farm it has two farms. Even the two farms.
Okay.
I mean the smaller is two farms too.
Okay.
I maybe have a farm model.
Okay.
But they cut, you know, that farm model, there are 3 wires there. They cut 1 wire. I'm suspecting that wire they cut. I don't know whether it's for start or what. They cut 1 wire out of it and use it like that.
Listen from the radio again.
So, but the other thing that sometimes when you know when the paper is not even right, the issue will not even it will cool and later it will cut by itself when the paper is not even right.
Okay.
So this is the confusion between just trying.
Okay.
It's not stable. Just show different signs.
Still listen again from the radio.
Listen about the radio.
Okay.
Any other input?
Well, he's still the same gentleman. Now, I'm still going to repeat the same thing. The problem is still with it because he's saying the AC works on and off like a yo-yo. That the AC sometimes will cool okay. You see, you don't have to be in the traffic for the AC to cut off. You don't have to be in traffic. You could be driving on a free road slowly. But once the temperature in the condenser rises to a level and the pressure builds up, it's going to cut power off to the compressor. And from my understanding, the way he explained it, somebody has tampered with the electricals of the fan.
Okay.
Because he said they've cut 1 wire. So that means whoever work on the AC system has bypassed the controls of the AC by the computer of the vehicle itself. So they've worked something because he said they work a thermostat into it. So that means there will be a thermos. They work the thermos switch and a relay will be on it, which the fan will not work the way it's supposed to work. And one thing I want them to understand is you could be seeing the fan turning. Because the fan is turning does not mean it's working optimally.
Okay.
Because if it's not turning fast enough, it will still not bring the heat out. Then one other thing is the fan could be turning, but turning in the wrong direction. If they have reversed the polarity of the fan in the process of them working, instead of the fan drawing in outside the air through the condenser and the radiator, is actually pushing the air back. This will also cause a problem if they mistakenly reverse the polarity of the fan.
Okay. All right, Lagos traffic video 96.1 FM. Yes, in order to decongest the traffic on Eco Bridge and on Third Mainland Bridge, I would advise that for motorists who can make use of Ikorodu Road, you can always go through Jibo, yes, connect Abak Macaulay, and from there go on to Ido and continue your journey towards Carter Bridge, and there you can connect the island. I think it's going to really decongest the traffic, or probably reduce the pressure on Third Mainland Bridge and also on Eco Bridge. All right, let's move on. We're taking your car questions on AUTOMEDICS, and we've got Mr. Kunle, Shonaike, and Karim Masalako here. So let's take some questions from WhatsApp. This one reads, close to our guest, Mr. Kunle. Yes, my car is Honda Accord 2001. It says initially leaks engine oil into the radiator without overheating. Then I changed the gaskets. Then it stopped leaking oil. After a while now, I can see a little oil from the radiator again. Although it wasn't as much as before, I don't rough handle the car. Please, what could be done to rectify this issue?
I think Yoruba will say, "Wọ́n fi ẹ̀tẹ̀ sílẹ̀, One palapa. So that's it.
How do you mean, Mr. Kunle? Then
You see?
you need to translate what you just said.
You see, the way you see, the mechanic didn't understand.
Okay.
He said the car didn't overheat,
Yes.
but there was oil in the. I mean, there was. Is it oil in the engine?
Yes, oil. He said it leaks engine oil into the radiator.
Okay, it's not engine oil. Well, it's possible. It leaks oil into the radiator, but they went ahead and changed the gasket.
They changed the gasket.
There was nothing wrong with the gasket.
Okay, that's why you gave
That's why I gave that proverb.
So
One
they are
fear
giving the most
tesile.
important thing.
Yeah, one fear.
I'm focusing on
On the trivia
trivial
thing.
things.
They left the important one and start focusing. So Yoruba will say, "One fear tesile, one palapa." Now you see, that mechanic didn't understand what was going on. If you look at the radiator, let's assume, I'm not sure, the car is automatic, right? If it's automatic, the oil cooler from the transmission goes through the radiator. There is a coil in the radiator. This coil will get damaged sometimes and will start leaking the fluid into the radiator. Then there are some cars that have external oil cooler for the engine. And this external oil cooler, some of them go through the radiator also. If this oil cooler is leaking, it will leak the oil into the radiator. Anytime you see oil in your cooling system in your radiator, don't go and change the gasket first.
Maybe the mechanic advised him to change the
I know it's mechanic, but the mechanic didn't understand it.
Okay.
And that's why I said that thing I said.
Okay.
Because that was not the problem. Now they're still experiencing it. It has wasted money. They probably created another problem by changing the gasket because there was nothing wrong with the gasket. So what I will advise him to do is, first of all, check the level of the transmission fluid.
Okay.
You will notice that the fluid level has gone down. Then let your mechanic check if your engine has an external oil cooler. If it has an external oil cooler, that's what's causing it to leak into the. It's a Honda, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Okay.
and some Honda, the Accord for the oil cooler will be like a round thing somewhere on the transmission. Aluminium. It looks like an aluminium coil like this. It will be on the transmission.
Okay. All right. The earlier reported broken down containerized truck at law school in Zumbambadi has been taken off the road, and normalcy has been restored on that stretch. So, traffic managers, thank you so much for doing a good job. So it's a better movement on that stretch now. All right, let's move on. We have more questions on WhatsApp. Do not forget you can also connect with us via our Facebook page. We're streaming live on that platform on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Prior's 2010 car, it says the hybrid coolant is always running short, and the dashboard temperature light comes on and goes off. What's your advice, please?
Yeah, I didn't get that. The hybrid cooler.
Hybrid coolants.
Yeah.
It's an hybrid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just take this call. We'll get back to that. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Is that
This is AUTOMEDICS on Lagos Traffic Radio.
can I speak to Akan?
We're having a show. This is
You got
AUTOMEDICS
the wrong number.
on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
I know. It's my friend Akan.
Okay,
We are on here. We are on here.
I'll get back to you on that. I'll take your number.
Hello?
All right, so the show is AUTOMEDICS on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and we are talking about your vehicles on this show. Okay, sir. Prior 2010, It's an hybrid.
Yes, Prius. All Prius are hybrid.
It says the hybrid coolant is always running short. Should I take this call? I don't know if it's.
Let's try
Hello.
it.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. I'm the one that wrote that hybrid issue.
Okay.
You have two coolants here, one for the engine, one for the hybrid itself.
One for the hybrid.
The coolant for the hybrid, you have two tanks there for the coolant.
Yes.
One for the hybrid itself, and the other one is for the engine.
Yes.
The one for the hybrid always runs short. That means it always falls below the minimum level.
Okay.
Most of the time. Then bringing the temperature on, and sometimes it goes off. Come on and goes off like that.
Okay.
So we always topping the coolant on that particular tank.
Okay. So that means there's a leak. There's a leak somewhere that you guys are not locating. Because for the hybrid coolant is not supposed to go down, because the hybrid coolant is what cools the hybrid transmission. That's what cools the hybrid transmission. So the problem is there's a leak somewhere that you cannot see. And
where should that leak be? Because you have inverter there, you have what again?
Okay.
Generator.
Listen from the radio. Listen from the radio.
Okay. All right.
You see, the hybrid coolant is leaking. It's not really, that's what cools the hybrid transmission. Because when you're seeing hybrid vehicles, hybrid is more or less like electric vehicles. Because the engine is just which is the ICE engine, which is the internal combustion engine. Its main job is just to recharge the hybrid battery.
Okay.
But the transmission, which is the gearbox for the hybrid, is actually an electrical motor. But something cools that motor, which is the coolant. It's more or less like a coolant. It's a combination of coolant and hydraulic fluid. Now, what is happening is it's leaking somewhere.
Okay.
But they don't see it on the ground. So it's leaking somewhere where it dries up.
Okay.
The only way to find out is you need somebody that has the experience and that has the tool to pressurize the system to be able to find out where the leak is from.
All right.
Or somebody that has a trained professional eye that can, one, smell it and be able to see without even using any tool, can say, okay, this is where this thing is leaking. But it's leaking somewhere. It's just that the leak is very minimal. Before it gets to the ground, it dries out. That's the problem.
Okay. And now this person is responding. It says, thanks numerously, Mr. Kunle. Yes, it's automatic, the Honda Accord 2011, no, 2001. It says, truly, I wasted such money, or I wasted much money with this. I don't want to use that word. It says, the oil cooler. Okay, is oil cooler the same with oil filter?
Yes, it's not the oil filter, but it's part of where you screw the oil filter to. It's part of where you screw the oil filter to. Yeah.
Okay, can you please break this code down for me and let me know what part needs to be changed? Mercedes E350 2016 model. And, okay, the code is P0430. Catalyst system efficiency below threshold bank 2.
Well,
it's an household code.
That's an household code. So even you can tell him what to do, Ronke. Because I wouldn't want him to go ahead and change any parts yet.
Not at all.
because changing part will be wasting money. If you have P0420,
The 430.
430.
Yes, it's band 2.
Yeah, and it's a Mercedes where ML
Yes, E350.
E350.
2016.
So that's a V6 engine. If it drives around the city within Lagos, you go through traffic every day, you are going to get that code.
Yeah.
Before you go ahead or waste money, do me and yourself a favor. On a Sunday morning, right now, Third Mainland Bridge might not be
It's
feasible.
being worked on now.
Yeah. Third Mainland Bridge is not feasible.
Maybe Lagos Ibadan.
But Lagos Ibadan Express Road on a Sunday or Saturday morning that the traffic is very, very light, no traffic. Take it on a stretch of that Lagos Ibadan to maybe Shagamu interchange before the traffic builds up.
Okay.
Because you must be able to maintain a constant speed of about 70 miles an hour. Do that trip once or twice. In most cases, by the time you do the second trip, that code will go away. Because normally what causes this code is when you're driving in traffic, we're running the risk of incomplete combustion. What we mean by incomplete combustion is when you're in traffic, you're constantly slowing down, moving. Every time you want to move, you're pressing the accelerator. By pressing the accelerator, you're telling the computer that I need more fuel because you're moving from rest. And for you to move from rest, you need power. For you to get power, you need fuel. Now, when that fuel is introduced into the engine, into the combustion chamber, before you finish burning that fume, you're already slowing down again.
Yeah.
So all those unburned fumes goes into your exhaust system and start coating the surface of the oxygen sensor. And it binds to the catalytic converter too. And the oxygen sensor and the catalytic is like your nose. It's the nose of the engine. That's what reports to the computer the amount of oxygen in the exhaust content. Now, based on that, the computer is able to know, is this vehicle burning fuel lean or rich? And that's what it uses to control. But because you have all these things, it has coated the surface and it's seeing it that this car is not burning fuel efficiently. And that's why it's saying catalyst efficiency below threshold. But doing that, if you have a party in Ibadan, just take the car. Or if you have somebody going to Ibadan, do that person a favor, tell him you will take him to Ibadan, just to be able to burn that thing. Use it on that stretch of road, but you must be able to maintain a constant speed of about 70 miles an hour for about 30 minutes to an hour constantly. Do it on a stretch once or twice, it will knock off that code.
All right, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Let's see if we can still squeeze in one more question or call. The key question now. It says, when considering fuel economy on an SUV, what do you look out for? Engine horsepower or the number of cylinders?
Well, the number of cylinders will still determine your engine horsepower. A 4-cylinder will be lower than a 6-cylinder. A 6-cylinder will be lower than a V8. The higher the cylinder, the more horsepower you are going to have. So, and you see, engine horsepower matters a lot. But even if the engine horsepower is not high, if the vehicle is not well maintained, you are still going to burn fuel. If you're using the wrong tire, you're going to burn fuel. If you have low air pressure, you're going to burn fuel. If you are carrying too much weight, it's the same thing. You're going to. So there's a lot of criteria, there are a lot of things you have to be looking at when you're considering fuel consumption on an SUV. I drive an SUV. Both my daily vehicles are more or less V8. My Ford is a 5.4 liter. My Toyota is a 4.7 liter. So they're both, but that's what I drive every day. But the fuel consumption is very good.
All right. This is where we call it a wrap on the show today. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle Shonaike, for adding your voice to the conversation today and helping us resolve our car issues. And we also appreciate you, Karima Salako. Yes.
Let me help Karima House with the numbers. Quickly. The numbers to call if you are interested in buying AUTOMEDICS engine oil premixed with Polytron, AUTOMEDICS oil filter branded, AUTOMEDICS branded brake parts or any other parts, or training or general repair, you can call or send a message to any of this number. 080-8080-6686, 080-8080-6686, or 070-6060-7494, 070-6060-7494. All
right, thank you so much. I also have Oluwapamila in the building. Okay, thank you. Yes, the social media team, we appreciate you. Otari Victor, you are highly appreciated. And I also want to say thank you to executive producer Tayo Kunle. My name is Aderonke Irewole. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
For children and adults, Dr. Ladi, what's it the medicine for that sickness? Dr. Ladi, so restore your health to the kids and this no power.
Mama Jerry, this means it's what they do Jerry don't they now? Are you sure say you give and the 7 kids have me so I tell you?
Neighbor, I buy a more. But they no right I'm Dr. Aladdin
for your body.
Now doctor.
I make I hear what? I don't tell you say you get many doctor this, doctor that for inside market now. Make I pass Zara.
If you no be Dr. Aladdin, you no be 7 kids. Shine your eyes on. Many fake products don't full market. They answer different names for cases like measles, chickenpox, cold, and fever. I beg no play with your life. Make sure say the right Dr. Aladdin 7 kids herbal mission for body. Now FAEK and Source Limited the producer. And for adult and children. NAFDAC don't approve. If symptoms persist after 3 days, go see your doctor. Dr. Aladdin 7 kids herbal mission. You will not get rival.